So motion 9, in the name of Ard Corlia, it deals with the organisation of the All-Ireland Under-21 Hurling Championship.
It's an amendment to Rule 628H, where Galway would enter the Leinster Championship and teams from Ulster as agreed by the Ulster and Leinster councils. In proposing the motion, there are a couple of points I'd like to make. The first being that this is a very prestigious competition, an important competition, and for a team to enter at All-Ireland semi-final stage, and that's Galway in this case, is not right or incorrect and unfair on Galway. But on top of that, the Ulster teams entering it now are suffering heavy defeats, and by going into the Leinster competition will allow for more meaningful games, and they can be competitive because they are competitive at a certain level, and entering the Leinster Championship will mean they'll have competitive and meaningful matches. The amendment says that the winners of the Leinster and Munster championships will go straight into an All-Ireland final, thereby dropping the All-Ireland semi-final and clearing a weekend for fixtures. So it will also help the fixtures planners. So on those points, I propose the motion.
Over the past 10 years, the average defeat in the All-Ireland semi-final has been 23 points. We can't let that go on. We can't let that go on. The issue of where Galway play can be decided by the other motion. It's Leinster, and I would support that. But if this motion fails, we're saying to the Ulster counties, be it Antrim, Derry or Down, keep coming to the semi-final and keep getting hammered out of the pitch. And it's not fair to those counties, it's not developing hurling, and it's not in the interest of the association. So on the basis of the Ulster counties and the need to develop hurling, give them a chance to compete in Leinster, I'm sure Leinster will find a formula for perhaps having the weaker counties meet in the earlier rounds, etc. At least they'll be in a competitive environment. But to ask Ulster County every year to go to Thurles and get hammered, I think John said the last 4 years the average defeat was 30 points. We can't stand over that.
If you want to pass the motion as proposed from the Central Council, you press 1. If you're against the motion, you press 2. Yeah. Motion is carried, 72% in favour, 28% against. The next amendment to the motion you've passed is from Cork, and it's motion 11.
In proposing this motion, Cork feel that we're inconsistent in what we're trying to achieve here today, even in providing more high-profile games for our players. We feel, if you don't pass this motion today, that the Under-21 is the only championship, senior and minor. The senior and minor championships both have a situation where the runner-up goes forward. And if we are to pass this motion here today, we want to have the semi-finals of the Under-21 championship. It's the only championship where we wouldn't have semi-finals as well. So in putting this motion forward, we feel it's good for the Under-21 players, the Under-21 championship. It would be a retrograde step if we just had the winners going straight forward to the All-Ireland final.
So if you agree with the amendment to have semi-finals in the Under-21 as proposed by Cork and seconded by Kilkenny, press 1. If you do not want to have semi-finals, you press 2. Motion is carried, 78% in favour, 22 against. The amendment is passed.